June 30th, I get there. Mom says, okay, send her in. You see my car out front. I'm inside. We had just went through, weeks of confrontation because she's not proving that the child is not being left alone with Jasmine. And I told her, I'm not leaving her there no more without knowing for sure that she's not being left alone with Jasmine. I get there June 30th, 6:27 p.m. So I text here. She said, okay, send her in. You see my car out front. I'm inside. And I said, I don't know if you're here. Can you come to the door or at least look out the window? She says, do I ask you to look out the window when I drop Sadie off at your apartment? My car is right there. Who else is driving it? Send her inside. I'm not poking my head out. I said, if you did, I wouldn't care. I'm doing it for a reason, and you know what that reason is. Your dad, your mom, it doesn't matter who. I just have to make sure there's another adult here with her. And she says, your reason is a lie. Now send her inside. My car is right there in front of the house. The next thing she did was, with the curtain in front of the picture, send me a picture sitting in my car. And I said, okay, wow, you're smart. You had your sister take a picture of me and send it to you. You can stand by the window and take pictures, but you can't prove that you're here. Then I'm saying I have to go to work. I will cancel my job if this is the game you want to play. Then I got out of my car and I rang the doorbell, and I noticed that the house was completely dark. This is like the third time that dropping her off since school has been out. Then I would go on the porch and ring the bell just to see if an adult will come to the door, and the house is completely dark. And you see like a little shadowy figure of the person who sexually abused my daughter hiding in the background. So I went up on the porch, I rang the bell. I said, your sister is standing at the window. You're not here. And this was June 30th at 6:47. So now I'm here for 20 minutes. She sends me a laughing emoji. And I said, okay, this is a laughing matter to you, but I'm going for full custody. See you in court. Enjoy your weekend. I'll take care of Sadia. The next day, I sent her a message. I have to work today. Would you like to see Sadia? It's up to you. If not, I will keep her this weekend and my Monday and Tuesday. It's your call. Then I was trying to call her phone on days after that, the other drop off days, and she blocked my number. She didn't see her for about 2 weeks, and then she filed a addendum to her contempt of court and saying that I'm withholding the child from her. This is our first hearing before Judge Tara Toohill. Now we have the pretrial conference and the contempt of court all on one day. Attorney Tunis is talking to the judge, and judge asks, so has there been any agreement on any item at all or no? And the attorney responds, she said, there has not, Your Honor. We are initially here for a pretrial conference pursuant to an order on mom's request to modify the custody schedule. That modification was not agreed to by father. I took a picture of him in his car to show like I'm here. My car is sitting out right out front. He was beeping the horn like he's saying that I'm making it up, beeping the horn loud for maybe like a half hour. So even though I was only there for about 24 minutes, she's claiming that the entire time I was there, I was beeping the horn. So the next thing was she's questioning her client. The attorney's questioning her client, and she's saying, is there any requirement in the court order that anyone make themselves present to Mr. Thurston? Mom answers no. I object. On page 21, I'm saying I am to ensure that there is someone there to supervise Jasmine. The court responds, and the court is saying, and you're okay. Okay, so dad is, putting forth that he is strictly reading that language that the parties are to ensure, which is a general language that would be put into an order. And she says, okay, but you can save that for your argument, Dad, okay, so that objection is overruled. It is a clarifying point, and I'm going to look at it also. You may proceed. So, and here goes the attorney on page 29 saying there was no active investigation. There was no investigation whatsoever. And this is regarding the 2022-21 hearing. And she even says, children and youth did one and it was unfounded. So that's when I responded and I said, children and youth, there's current litigation. Children and youth violated my daughter's rights because she is nonverbal. Whenever you see them two little dashes, that means someone's either stuttering. It's an indication that someone's lying from what I observed. And it's also an indication someone may be confused or, can't get out the words they're trying to say and mumbling. Or you'll see it when someone is cut off in the middle of them talking. So this is what's happening here is as I was talking, the judge cut me off. So when I started talking about children and youth violated my daughter's rights because she is nonverbal, you see the judge cut me off and the judge says, are you suing children and youth? And I said, I'm not suing. I just want my daughter, I just want justice for them not preventing her from being abused. They pretty much gave testimony and they didn't do a full investigation and they gave testimony to allow her back into the home. And I was wondering why the judge was, she seemed to be really concerned and she was like stuttering as she was asking me if I was suing CYS. Come to find out, she has close ties with CYS. And I feel like that is one of the many reasons she's being biased against me. And also one of the reasons she tried to frame me. So this is July 12th. On August 31st, we go to court for a protection from abuse order that I filed because they attacked me. Her mother stated that she was working up until 2 months ago. So now the judge says on page 41, so I am rejecting your argument that you're complying with the December of 2020 order as your defense to the contempt that mother has brought. So I'm going to find you. And she went to find me in contempt and I cut her off and I said, well, I'm not finished with my questioning. You cut off my testimony and I want to present my evidence to the court. So all of this you can see in episode 34. This is just back and forth conversation. And then the judge says on page 46, she says, what is there you would like to ask? So I'll retract that contempt. So then after, making her aware that she's violating my rights because she never gave me a chance to present my evidence and to finish questioning the witness, she gives me an extra 3 hours for every drop off. So pretty much this is making me like the primary parent because I have the child more time now. She asked me, she said, sir, are you going to return the child to mother's care this Friday at 6:30? And I responded and I said, as long as I can be assured that the child is not being left with someone who molested her, that's all I want. Like, what planet are we on? And she says, so you're putting in all of your own restrictions? You can look at December 11th when we had court. The very next day, she violated this order. And I've been trying to turn over the child the entire time. And then I stated, who stays away from their child for 14 days for a minor drop off dispute? Say, like, the last time it was 20 days. And I was referring to in December of 2020, my daughter was with me for 20 days straight because of the same exact thing, a minor drop off dispute. This time it was 14 days. The judge says, wait, hold on a minute. Hold on 1 minute. And as you can see, it says, at this time, there was a brief discussion held off the record between the judge and her staff. Her staff is Joe Musto. He's working as her assistant. I thought this was really strange for a former judge with that much experience. I'm going to find out this guy is tied to people involved in corruption, and also the people he's tied to were tied to people involved with the Kids for Cash scandal. And I'm going to put all of this in a later episode. Stated how I'm a Kids for Cash victim. The guardian that lied on almost put my daughter in danger. The Child Protective Services almost put my daughter in danger. I have trust issues and I have reasons to have trust issues. Again, we're going back and forth about the same thing. I asked the judge, I said, is she required to prove that the child is not going to be alone in the house with Jasmine at any point? And she says, I don't have an order that describes that. That would be a new restriction. The order that describes that is December 11, 2020, and it says, as Jasmine resides at the maternal grandmother's home where exchanges take place, should the natural mother or another supervisor not be present for the exchange at the designated exchange time, exchanges will be moved up or delayed to ensure that a supervisor is available for as long as the restrictions on Jasmine remain in place. At some point, I was just like, am I like what does ensure mean? Like, is my definition of ensure accurate? Is it correct? Like, am I doing the right thing? And I asked AI, and AI said, yes, the order you are complying with does require another adult to be physically present and supervising before your child is allowed into the house where Jasmine, the alleged perpetrator, resides. The relevant language from the order states the maternal aunt Jasmine shall be supervised around the minor child by mother or another member of the maternal family or third party until such time as the court can confirm that she is not under an active investigation as an alleged perpetrator against a minor child. It further states, as Jasmine resides at the maternal grandparents' home where the exchanges take place, should the natural mother or another supervisor not be present for the exchange at the designated exchange time, exchanges will be moved up or delayed to ensure that a supervisor is available for as long as the restrictions on Jasmine remain in place. And AI says this means that if a supervisor, the mother, or another family member, or a third party is not present at the time of exchange, you are required to delay or reschedule the exchange until a supervisor is available. The intent of the order is to prevent Jasmine from being alone with the child at any time, and the only way to ensure this is for a supervisor to be physically present and known to you before the child enters the home. Therefore, your interpretation is correct. You must confirm the presence of a supervisor before allowing your child into the house in compliance with the court order.